Alrighty, on today's task we're going to be doing this. We saw it on the other video. We did this piece, but today we're tackling this section, this and this. Well, probably hopefully as much as we can. We're going to start by grinding off. There's a bracket that runs under here. You can just see it in there. I'm going to grind. Well, I'm going to take some measurements first so I know my next piece to go in there. I've got a vague idea what it looks like. And I'm going to grind off all this leftover metal so that bracket's perfectly exposed. Clean it up, spray it with some copper spray, make my next piece and weld that in. So that should be quite fun. Okay, so we're on to the next piece. I'm part way through making it right now. So I measured from the edge of that to the inside of the fold, which is there. Now this piece is probably going to come down through here and then down onto here because it's more chewy here than it is up here. But when I'm making the piece, I'm just going to do the whole thing and then just trim out what I need, because it's going to be like, and then go sort of down and then this way, if that makes sense. So that bit won't be needed. However, I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. I was trying to work out how far down is that bend and stuff like that. So I've got me vernier calipers, I think they're called, or you know what these are. And I've used the bottom to measure the remnants of the top corner there. You see it there, and it measures down to where the fold is, and that's how far you know the next fold is. So the next one I've got to do, I just realised I should clean my camera lens, is I've got to work out this fold to this fold, because there's another one here. So I don't know if this is going to be able to do that, or whether or not I can do it that way, or maybe upside down. Well, upside down might work, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit tricky. It's very hard to show what I'm up to whilst holding a camera and the calipers and all that stuff. Oh, and here's the underside of that bracket I was talking about. See, that actually joins the firewall to the upper skirt, or whatever it is. That's much thicker steel. That almost never rusts out. So we've got to trim off that piece behind there and clean the top side of that. And we have to redo these welds under here when we put this next piece in, because this is also a bit of an annoying piece. It's also got to come, oops, it's got to have a right angle fold here, because it comes up and then sort of diagonally and then up. So we'll figure that out as we go, but I just thought I'd show you a little handy trick with the calipers. Actually work really well for working out how far down this fold is. And then I've got to do that, obviously that next one, and then fold the steel going the other way, and then trim it up across that way, and then try and fold. I'll probably have to do it in, probably have to put a little slice in each one, because it's going to be impossible to bend it with the shrinker that way. So I'll have to slice, fold, and then re-weld them back together, and then grind them, and then put it in. But I'll walk you through this whole thing. Most people, I noticed, have been missing rust repairs. I mean, that's what I've sort of got a bit known for on this channel. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into it. The other point is, because we're working on customer cars, not every car has rust. So, well, not every car. Most cars have rust. But we're not always doing rust repairs, so I can only film rust when we're doing rust. So I thought I'd show you this one. Okay, so we've got our folds. We've also folded the ends. Now, do ignore this will be neatened up, but I'm just showing you it's sort of rough. So that was a fold. I trimmed out that little section because they would have overlapped. I trimmed off a little piece there. Used that piece in that gap because it obviously got bigger. And that got tighter, that got bigger, so I cut that triangle out, put it in there, and I'll neaten them all up to do their task, but I thought I'd just show you. And that'll be the seam that welds on the inside of here, if that makes any sense. Yeah, it might make sense, it might not, but you'll get to see it. So yeah, now we just got to clean it up, grind it down, and obviously neaten up those edges. But yeah, we have a right angle fold that goes around a corner. Neat, hey? So there we go, I got my piece. It's all made. I'm just going to texture around it carefully, and I'll trim out the crap that's below it. But obviously it needs to be tapped down a little bit. It's not, because it's sitting on top of another layer, it's going to require some tweaking, but just roughly in there, it looks like it'll work quite well. Okay, so we got this piece in, started grinding it down, and I noticed a little baby hole here. So then I've decided to open up the plenum chamber a bit more. I'm thinking that there'll be a couple of people going, why didn't you just open up the whole thing and take the whole lot off? Because I'm trying to do it in stages, and this is a massive job, and it's very easy to get overwhelmed. So small sections is what I'm doing for this one. So this piece that I'm going to put in here in a minute is actually going to come up to somewhere here, I reckon. Keep that line going. Go past this rust here as well. Go to where it's solid again. And then do this section. And we'll finish up this whole side. And then obviously we've got more rust to go all the way along the lip. So once we've got the side on, we can take out the middle section and do that. It's not gone all the way across. It's only gone sort of about here. So it's just how it's ended up going. But this is, there was some plug welds through it, ground them down. That's looking pretty good. So that whole corner's solid again. That's now welded to that. Piece went in there quite well. Looking lovely. But now I'm going to make another cut along here and through here, I reckon. Do it in small sections. I mean, it looks rusty, but it is actually solid. It's not going anywhere. Anyway. Alrighty, so we ended up cutting this open a bit further. I had to replace that little bit, which is the firewall section. I'm having flashbacks. I did all this on my ute when I would put the new plenum chamber in that. I replaced all that, and on my XY ute, if you go back in my video feeds, you'll see me doing a 2-week stint on that. And in that, one of those things, I replaced this whole lip all the way across before putting the new plenum chamber in. So we're now, this bit's done, it's welded down there, it's welded under there, we've replaced a bit more, kept going till we were solid, and we're solid there. But what we're going to have to do is, because it's chewed out in the middle, next week I'll have to spend some time in the engine bay, and I can do that midsection, and then the whole shooting match will be done. So I've just used a manila folder to make a template to make the bottom section, and I will just radius that edge once I've welded in. But that'll be that, and that needs to come down a little bit, because when it was cut it went boink. So I know that needs to be about there, and we'll tack that in and then weld it in, and that'll be from here all the way through here up to here. That whole section will be solid, and there'll be no rust through here. And then once we do that, we do this little piece, cut this, well, do this little piece, then put a strip in through here and have that welded up to about there, and then we'll cut this corner out, fix underneath there. We'll put that new corner in there, and then we can put the whole side of this back on, the outer piece. I'm leaving this piece out for now till I have this bit back in, and then I'll make a new lip for that. And I figured I'll just do this heap and then start from here and go across. It's a bit of a... I'm doing things in an odd way, but when have I ever been normal? You know, it is what it is. Good fun. So yeah, I'm just doing this, so I did all my plug welds and ground them down, and I ground down my tacks at the moment, mainly because I was in the mood for grinding. But yes, we're getting there. Sorry I'm not doing too much time-lapsing at the moment. When I get a better computer, and get my Adobe going again, which is a editing program, I'll be able to do music in time-lapse easier, and then I'll go back to doing them. I just wanted to keep some rust repair videos coming, but that's looking pretty darn good. Pretty happy with that, actually. All I gotta do is just fill in all these gaps along here, grind them down, and then start working my way up the side here. It's amazing how far back you have to go to make it solid. Like you go, oh, peel off this layer, it's rusty. Peel off another layer, it's rusty underneath. And you have to keep going down till you get to the bottom and then work your way back up. But I tell you what, it's going to be pretty darn good when it's done. Pretty happy with that. And the little recess for where the bonnet hinge comes through, it's all nice. You have to get rid of this crap. Can't leave that behind. So yeah, hope you're enjoying it. And I'll say that's just going to wrap up this video quite nicely. So we're making progress. That's done. It's all welded in lovely. It's welded along there. It's ground. It's looking pretty. I'll throw some copper spray and a bit of etch on it, just for so it doesn't pick up any surface rust. And that'll just about wrap up this video quite nicely. I hope you enjoyed this rust repair.